We're on our 60-day healing journey to establish inner union. We did the work to stop attracting emotionally unavailable people. We stopped being a people pleaser, overgiving, and oversharing. We then started forming healthy boundaries by learning how to say no from a space of love. We are on our 60-day healing journey now to establish inner union. Bringing the pieces of us together, we are stopping the self abandonment. We are loving the different aspects of ourselves and learning to trust who we really are. We are on day 19, and the affirmation for today is my inner child trusts me more and more each day. My inner child trusts me more and more each day. This is saying that, this has to be saying, rather, that you are doing the work to protect who you are. You're trusting your natural instincts and intuition. You're listening to that inner voice that's guiding you, that's telling you what to do, what not to do, etc. You're being obedient to that inner part of yourself. Your inner child is feeling safe because you are now doing the work to protect yourself from things that no longer resonate with you. You've separated and done that work to depart from those things and allowed yourself to grow and elevate to a new level. So my inner child trusts me more and more each day. To me, I imagine my smaller version of me that's looking up at me like, I trust you to guide me. I trust you to protect me. I know that you're making the right decisions that's making me feel safe. That's what I see when I see this affirmation, when I hear this affirmation. My little version of me that just is okay with just tagging along because I'm going to make the right decisions to guide myself, not based off of other people, but what's best for me and for my evolution. The somatic practice for today is a self hug. So you're going to give yourself a hug. No, you're not too tough to hug yourself. You got to hug yourself first, because then you'll know what type of hug you need. Do you need a soft hug, a firm hug? I'm just saying. But today's somatic practice is a self hug. So take that a little while just to hold yourself and to breathe and enjoy how it feels to feel a hug, to feel comforted with yourself. Allow yourself to give you love. That's the somatic practice. The visualization is inner child leaning towards you. So we're going to visualize your inner child. And for those people who don't understand what that inner child is, just imagine the smaller version of you, the innocent version of you before you became impacted by this life, before you became impacted by things that may have brought a negative aspect of looking at things, the stress of life. That little version of you that was just free spirited, that was just looking for an adult to protect it. The little version of you that was creative, innocent. That version of you is the inner part of you, the inner child. So just imagine the smaller you leaning towards you. And if you have children, you know what it feels like to have your child leaning into you because they feel safe. They cuddle into you. You know, they just, if you go somewhere with them, they might lean or hold on to your leg because they feel like you're going to protect them and keep them safe because you're the adult. So imagine, for this visualization, imagine your inner child leaning into you. Whether that be you standing and your inner child leaning towards your leg because it's feeling safe, or you sitting and they're leaning into you, just nuzzled up into you because they feel like you're going to make sure that they're good. This is how you gotta feel. This is how you gotta really protect yourself. Like there is actually a little version of you that you're taking care of. Because if you let yourself be open and vulnerable to anything, imagine you doing that to the little part of you. This might correct some of our behavior if we start looking at it from that perspective. If we start looking at it from the perspective of I have to keep that little version of me safe, that innocent version of me that may not know much, the green version of me that may just not be prepared to deal with the world. So when I'm making decisions, I need to make sure I'm fully aware that I need to protect that version of myself. And I can't just make decisions to please other people. I need to make decisions to please that version of myself. So if we really take the time to think about it like that, we may make better decisions. We might not just be, we might not so much be thinking about how we're pleasing other people. We will be more concerned about how these things make us feel and how they're going to make us feel in the long run. It's all about feeling safe with the decisions that we make and not just doing it just to do it anymore. The journal prompt for today is, how am I showing consistency? Are you showing up for yourself all the time? Are you following through with the things that you need to do for yourself? Do you have goals? Have you decided to create goals and are working on them consistently over time? A lot of times we set goals and we don't have the end in mind. So it's just like you just going down this path idly, but not knowing where you're going at. Consistency, when you're creating goals and you're trying to have consistency in creating your goals, you want to have deadlines to meet so that you can get there. You can work consistently to meet those deadlines and you can eventually meet that goal. But if you don't have the end in mind, if you don't have a vision in mind of where you're going, then you'll just be going down a path, squandering out your energy in all types of different directions and not actually accomplishing your goal. So you got to have the end in mind. You got to start with the end in mind and have consistency working towards that. Whether that be a personal goal or that's something that you want to actually create, a business that you might want to start, some sort of plan that you create for yourself. You have to be consistent in order to do that. It could be, by the whatever time I want to lose a certain amount of weight, or I want to just be in shape. I want to be able to lift a certain amount of weight or be stronger. So now, in order for you to get there, this is what I need to do. So now by this time, I want to have this done to get to that point. I'm going to change up whatever I need to change, make whatever adjustments need to be made, but they have to be consistent. Just like this 60-day healing journey that we're on. It's not 60 days for no reason. It's so that we can consistently get there. You have to have a slow build sometimes to getting to the end. A slow build gives you enough time to actually make these things a reality, to integrate these things into your life so that they're not just temporary changes. They're ones that will stick with you for the long haul, but it takes consistency and repetition in order for you to get there. You can't expect change just to happen overnight. You got to put in the work. Real change requires you putting in work. You can feel how you want to feel all day long. You could just think about it all day long, but you got to actually put in the work. That's where the phrase faith without works is dead comes from, because you got to actually put in the work. You can't just think about it and feel it. You got to do both. The masculine and the feminine have to come together to actually create balance and for this to happen for you, to come into fruition. The yin and the yang, they got to match. They got to meet each other so that they can come into fruition. So you got to have the physical and the spiritual aspect of it in order for it to come to life. So are you showing consistency? How are you showing consistency? Are you doing it in certain areas and not in others? So now you got to do comparison and say, okay, why am I not doing it in these areas? And how can I improve now so that I am more consistent to make these goals come to fruition? So that is our journal prompt. The practice for today is be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Again, that's where creating these goals actually helps you with being patient. It also helps you protect your inner child and keep your inner child safe so that you're not going into these panic modes, having anxiety, being hard on yourself, now damaging more parts of you, or not making that inner child feel safe because you didn't take the time to put in work and be patient and consistently work there. Allow yourself to grow. We have patience with other people, right? So why can't we have patience with ourselves? Why are we setting these expectations so high to the point that we are not being, you know, kind to ourselves. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that to ourselves? You got to have patience and know that changes take time. You have to allow yourself to blossom, allow yourself to grow, and take the time to use repetitive routines, do things that will actually get you there. But pace yourself and allow yourself to grow. You have to, just like a plant, or just like a fruit or some food that you're cooking that's really good. Sometimes you got to let that food simmer. Sometimes you got to marinate it the day before or a couple of days, however, so that it can actually have that taste that you're trying to get. When you're baking things, you want it to bake the proper way, so you got to allow it to bake all the way through. If you don't allow it to bake all the way through and you try to go too fast, then maybe the inside won't be cooked enough. So when you bite into it, there you go. Same thing with us. We got to be patient and allow ourselves to grow. These changes don't necessarily, real changes don't always happen overnight like that. You got to put in the work and allow yourself to grow. So that's our practice. Be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. It's okay. It's okay. Like, what's going to happen if we make a mistake? We'll just keep going. We don't want to, I'm not saying that we should just mess up things on purpose and not try, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if it happens, be patient and allow yourself to grow. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind with yourself. Be kind with the little version of you, because we're all still learning. The holistic tip is warm comfort food if available. So we're going to have some warm, healthy comfort food. It's cold in a lot of places. And so just get some warm comfort food to make yourself feel relaxed. I got to go get me some tea. So I'm about to go get me some warm tea, because for some reason tonight, my throat is really dry and I sound crazy. So I need to go get me some warm tea. So everybody, I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I hope these videos have been helpful. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Mwah.